it's Kristen. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a curriculum update. So back before the school year started, for the 2019 and 2020 school year, I did curriculum videos just showing you everything that we had chosen to use for our kindergartners and then our first grader. So I'm going to go through every single thing that I mentioned in those first videos and just tell you quickly where we are in it. Are we still using it? Are we still loving it? Have we moved to something else? That kind of thing. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kristen and I'm a homeschooling mother of 4 young children. And on my channel, I love to share about our homeschooling journey, about just kind of our daily rhythms and routines, as well as I love to do some day in the life vlogs, curriculum reviews. I also love to share about some of my other passions, such as healthy recipes and healthy living, things like that. So thanks for being here, and I'd love it if you would click the subscribe button and stick around. So as I mentioned, I made those curriculum videos back before the school year started, and I thought it was time to just go ahead and give you guys an update. I've had a lot of people asking about, how's the curriculum going? Are you using the same thing? Have you switched anything up? So I definitely wanted to give you guys an update and kind of show you where we are and what has changed. So let me just start out by telling you I have a first grader. My daughter is 6 years old. She'll be 7 in April, and so she's our first grader. And then I have twin boys that are 5 and they're in kindergarten. They're on the younger end of kindergarten, so definitely not an advanced kindergarten level, but they're doing pretty good. I was a little worried about them starting kindergarten this year. I was considering holding them back because they are on the young end, but they're doing really, really well. So the first subject I'm going to cover is Bible. So I had mentioned that we were using the More Than Words curriculum, which we really did love. We used it for quite a while, and I got a little tired of it and wanted to move on to something else. I also didn't like that I felt like my boys couldn't really participate in this, so I only bought one, and so I didn't buy others for my boys. So I was mostly just doing it with my daughter, and I really wanted something that we could just do as a family for our Bible time. My husband is home with us in the mornings generally, so he will be with us during the morning basket time, and so I like for him to be able to do the Bible time and stuff with them. So we are no longer using the More Than Words, although I am hanging on to it, so we will complete it at some point. But as of right now, for our Bible curriculum, we are using the Bible. My husband uses that. He'll read out of that. And then 2 other resources that we really, really love for Bible time are this one. So this one is called I Am. Bible stories, devotions, and prayers about the names of God. It says 40 reasons to trust God. It just has these beautiful illustrations. It talks, like it says, all about the different names of God, and there's Bible stories in here, and Bible verses and little prayers, things like that, and the kids really, really love this book. Everything that I mentioned in the video, I'll try to link down below for you. The next Bible resource that we love is called Indescribable. You've probably heard of it before. It's a pretty popular one. It's by Louis Giglio, and it's called Indescribable 100 Devotions About God and Science. We really love this one. We love that it ties Bible stories into science and just like how amazing creation is. We really love that kind of thing, and my kids really love when we pull this book out. So definitely something we've been loving for Bible time as well. So next up is our language arts category. So my first grader is still doing the Good and the Beautiful. Language Arts Level 1. I have a full review on this, just on this alone. This is the newer edition. I'll link it in the description for you if you want to check it out, just like a more in-depth look inside. But you probably already know we absolutely love this curriculum. Like, I can't ever imagine changing to anything else. It is seriously so in-depth, covers so much in such a gentle and beautiful way. It is just, it's the best. We absolutely love it. So definitely still doing this for my daughter, my first grader. And then for my boys, we are still doing the Foundation Phonics by Master Books. Absolutely loving it. They are reading little words, like sounding them out. They each lesson has like a little narrative and a little Bible story that goes along with the new letter that they're learning. It's not difficult to get my boys to come and do school. Even though they're active little boys, they have no problem coming and sitting and doing this. They really love it. And the reason why I went with this rather than the Good and the Beautiful Level K is because, like I said, they're not advanced. They're maybe just a little under what's normal for a level K, I would say, because they're on the young end. And so this one is just much more simple. The lessons are quick, not so in-depth. And so I felt like that's what my boys needed. And so, so far this has been really wonderful. I also have a full review and look inside of this curriculum. If you want to see more about it, I'll link that in description as well. All right, moving on to math. So the math for my boys, we went with the Master Books Math Lessons for Living Education Level K. This is a brand new level this year, and I also have a full review and look inside of this one. I'll link it in the description for you. This has been really great for my boys. So you'll see if you go and look at the other video, it is very, in my opinion, it's more like a pre-K level. I feel like it doesn't cover very much besides kind of like counting and some critical thinking. There's no addition, any like introduction to that at all. It's very, very basic, and like I said, more like a pre-K curriculum, but we're going through it very, very quickly with my boys that are 5. So, I mean, we're over halfway through it. They can do like a week of lessons in one day, and it takes them like 15 minutes or something. So really, really easy for them, but they're loving it. There's no complaints. They have fun with it. And I think it's just setting a good foundation for them. I really am not a believer in like just pushing kids, like, you know, stretching them to their limits as academically, like especially when they're young. Like there's a place for that for sure. But when they're really, really young, I really just want to like foster a love of learning in them. And I want it to be something that they, you know, actually enjoy doing, and not something I have to like twist their arm and get them to come and want to do it with me. So, so yeah, while it is a little bit easy for them, they're really loving it. And I think in kindergarten, that's really what's important. And then for my first grader, we also are doing the math lessons for living education. She went through level 1 already, so we've moved along to level 2. Level 1 was really easy for her. We went through that one really, really quickly. And so the level 2 seems like it's a much better fit. It's a little bit more challenging so far. She really just likes the way this curriculum is set up. It just works with her personality pretty well. So we went ahead and we were kind of on the fence if we were gonna go move forward with this or try to find something else, because if you've been around for long, you know that the Good and Beautiful math didn't work for us. It's a wonderful curriculum, it just didn't work for us. And so anyway, we did go ahead and order level 2. So she's working her way through this now. And this is just an extra little bonus curriculum that I have for my first grader. This is Explode the Code, Essential Lessons for Phonics Mastery. So she's gone through several of these books already. She's on level 3. She's even worked some in level 4. This is just reiterating some of those phonics skills and things that they're learning in language arts at this level. Probably my favorite thing about this is that she can do it herself. So she doesn't need my help with it at all. So it's great for bringing along with us when we're like out and about, or we're gonna have to be waiting somewhere for someone, like while the boys do karate class or something like that. She can just sit and do the Explode the Code, and it's engaging her brain and good for her, and she really loves it. So definitely recommend this. So next up is science. I shared with you in the first grade, so this is just for my first grader. We're not doing science besides that little science book I talked about in the beginning, the devotional book for my kindergartners. We're not doing that this year. So this is for my first grader, and I mentioned that we were using this. We have a co-op, a tiny little co-op, just 2 of my friends that we get together with once a week, and so we're doing science and history with them. And so this is the God's Design Life for Beginners. This is also by Master Books, and we are absolutely loving it. It is very gentle in its approach. It's not too much. There's just, you know, you just read a little bit of a lesson, and then there's little activities and copy work and some coloring, and there's some occasional experiments or little activities to do, things like that. So far so good with this one. We've really been enjoying it. And also for my first grader is history, and I mentioned in my original video that we were using the Beautiful Feet books, Early American History, and I have a video, I'll link up in the cards and down in the description, explaining all of this. I'm not going to go in depth, but we have stopped using this. It was not a good fit for us, and if you want to know why, you can check out that video. I don't want to talk too much about it here, because just in case you've already watched it, but go check out that video if you want to know why we stopped using this. I really don't see us going back to it. So we've moved on, we're not using this one. And so what we are now doing is the My Story by Master Books. It is My Story in the World Around Me. This is level 1. It's more like a social studies. So we were kind of partway through the year, and we, like I said, we are doing the history and the science with my the co-op friends. So we were kind of like scrambling, like, oh no, this isn't working for us. What are we gonna do? And we had all seen this on the Master Books website, and we were like, oh, that looks good. Like, let's go for that one this year, and then we'll kind of come back to the history thing next year and figure out what it is that we're gonna do in our co-op for next year. But so far, we're really enjoying it. It kind of starts with the like your family, and then it works out to like your city, your county, your town, and then your state and your country, and then you kind of travel all over the world, visiting different countries and learning all about them, and learning like the tiny little snippets of foreign language and things like that. So we're using this basically in place of history this year. So we're just working on the social studies, and they're really enjoying it. The next thing is handwriting, and so the little handwriting level K, my boys are still working on this. They're almost done with this one, and so they're going to move on to level 1 when they're done with that, which is a bigger book here. If you want to see a look inside of this one, you can either let me know and I'll do a video of all the handwritings. I have several levels. I could do a video looking inside of these. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments down below. I also did a little peek inside of them on my Instagram the other day, an IGTV actually, so you can follow me over at Raising Nobles over there, and on the little IGTV tab on my profile, you can see a look inside of, I think I look inside of 4 different levels and just kind of show you what these are like. So definitely still loving the handwriting. My daughter also, so she was doing level 2. She's about to move on to level 3, which we already have for her, which she's very excited about because it has the starting them on cursive writing. And this one has the color-coded letters, so they learn how to form the letters by following the rainbow, the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, on like that. So that's really cool and unique, and so definitely loving the handwriting still. Something else I mentioned in those original videos were these primary journals, and I said how we were planning on doing some creative writing this year. I had these little cards with prompts to kind of like get their imagination going with like a story, and these little journals have a little spot to write or draw a picture as well as write a little text or story. And so full disclosure here, we have not been doing this. So we did it just for a few weeks maybe, and I just didn't feel like it was worth our time right now, just at the ages that the kids are. It just wasn't fitting into our schedule, especially with my little kindergartners. Like, they're too young to do things like this just yet. And so we just kind of bumped this to the side and said, you know, we'll revisit it next year and see if they're more ready for it then. So I just want to update you that we are not doing this like we thought we were going to. And that's okay, you know, like there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like part of the beauty of homeschooling is just like figuring out what works for you and your family, and not being afraid to just drop something when it's not working, if it's too much, or you know, if the kids seem too young for it. Like, just because you see something online or another mother doing something, like, doesn't mean that you need to do it too. So definitely feel like there's I definitely feel like there is freedom in homeschooling in that, and it doesn't mean that we can't come back to it another time, or maybe even try to do it in the summertime, or who knows. But I love the idea of it, and I think it'll be great for the future, but it just hasn't been working for us this year, and that's okay. And the last thing that I mentioned in these videos were these amazing little books by Julia Rothman, the Farm Anatomy book, the Nature Anatomy book, and the Food Anatomy book. These come in a little set on Amazon. They're super inexpensive. I think they might be on sale right now too. I'll make sure to link them down in the description for you. But we use these for our nature study, or just anytime the kids want to like look up certain animals and know kind of how to draw them, or get ideas and inspiration, things like that. And so these books are really good for that. I am going to be honest with you and tell you that we do not do nature study every week. So that's something that I thought we would do, just like the little primary journals and creative writing. At the beginning of the school year, I was like, yeah, we're gonna do this like every week. We'll have a day set aside that we can, you know, get outside as often as we can, as well as on the days that we can't get outside, we'll, you know, look through these books for inspiration and study an animal, things like that. And it is just to be honest, it has just not been working for us this year. I just haven't made the time to do it. So the curriculum that we have has been enough for us. My kids are still pretty young. I don't feel like I need to be pushing all of this stuff on them. Like, I really value play and time outside. They spend a ton of time outside every day, and that is what's really valuable to me right now. I definitely want to incorporate nature study in the future. Maybe we will in a few months, or maybe we won't till next year. Like, I don't really know. But this resource is definitely one that we love having on our bookshelf. They're super handy and helpful, and we use them actually quite a lot. So that's everything. That wraps up everything that I had mentioned in those first 2 videos. So I hope this was helpful to you. I hope that you enjoyed seeing like where we are, and if anything that we've switched to, and just kind of what is working and what isn't working for us. I enjoy watching these kind of videos, so I thought that you might as well. If you enjoyed the video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up. It is so helpful to me to know what kind of videos you guys enjoy seeing. I'm trying to figure it out, like trying to figure out what you guys like and that kind of thing. It's just super helpful to know. If you have any video suggestions or things that you would like to see from me, I would love to hear from you down in the comments, as well as just any comments you have or questions you have about anything that I mentioned. I'm always so happy to talk with you guys down in the comments, and I respond to every single one, and I love to hear from you. Again, if you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe and stick around for more videos, and thank you so much for watching this video today, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.